Whenever you go to a restaurant or you go into a store, you are expecting that as a customer, somebody who's willing to spend some money there, the service towards you will be acceptable, will be good. It'll be something that will make the experience memorable, and it'll be a pleasure doing business with that particular group again. On the other hand, if something goes wrong and you're not treated well, or the product that you're looking for is wrong in some way, you're not so keen to go back because of the service that you received. I want us to examine that word, particularly from the context of Scripture, for the next few moments right here on CITAM Church Online. My name is Reverend Kwame Rubadiri. Towards the end of, in fact, the very last chapter of the book of Joshua, we see as Joshua has led the children of Israel into the possession and into the conquest of the promised land. They are now getting settled in. They've been given the allotments of land by lot throughout the land. So people are sort of settling down and getting ready to make the place home for them. And then Joshua has a very important last words, if you will, with them. He knows he's a much older man, and the time for the end of his leadership with them is about to come. And he has an opportunity to remind the entire nation of all the things that were important to God before they came into the land, and now that they are settled into the land, that they must take seriously. And this is what he begins to say to them at towards the end, in fact, in the middle of chapter 24, the last chapter of the book of Joshua. Verse 14 says, "Now, therefore, fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and in faithfulness." I wanted to just unpack that word service, because we often think that in serving God, he's expecting us to simply show up in church, worship, read the Bible, maybe do a few good works here and there, help those people who might be in need. But there's a little bit more to this particular word, because the word can also be translated to mean to till new ground, to plant new seeds and expect a new crop. It could also mean, and has also been interpreted to mean, that you should be productive in some way, productive in a good way, and productive in a way that is meaningful. The third thing that it means is that you should be considered a worshiper, or in other words, that the work that you do, whatever you produce for God in your service to him, will be an act of worship. Now, you and I don't have to be told twice that whatever we present to God should be good. It should be meaningful. It should be something we would be proud of and something that God would be pleased in. So I'd like to suggest a couple of things that you and I need to be thinking about when we think about how do we serve God? What sort of service do we give to him? Are we giving him something that is never been here before, in the sense that when you plant seeds, those crops have never been on the face of the earth before, and they're going to feed perhaps more people and change the lives of more people than ever before? And that we should also consider the fact that whatever we produce is good. It's enlightening. It's helpful to other people, but it's pleasing to God. And that when God looks at it, he doesn't just see it as productivity. He doesn't just see it as service, but he actually sees it as worship. If we considered our service to God and the things we produce on a daily basis, or the things we create to the glory of God as an act of worship, we would produce good service every time. And I want to encourage you, wherever you are, whatever industry you're in, especially if you're in the service industry, let your productive work, let the ideas you bring to the table every day when you go to work, let your service be an act of worship to God. As Joshua encouraged and challenged the children of Israel and told them, serve the Lord with faithfulness and sincerity. Give God the very best that you can, and watch him take care of the rest in your life. God bless you.